Hello guys, Snowflake here, and welcome to another episode of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. In last episode, we had to do another minor companion quest in order to progress the storyline. Before we get into that, I just remember guys, I do a thing called Snowflake Sundays, where you can vote for what you want to see every Sunday. I'll leave a link to a form in the description below, so you would vote. I will randomly pick one of the voted options, and that will be what I do the following Sunday. I also automatically post the link in my Discord server every week, so feel free to check that out too, as well as for notifications when I upload. That's a pretty cool thing, and you can see what all my friends do as well. But yeah, on to last time. We completed the rescue mission quest, a rescue mission quest, where we saved a random citizen who was being kidnapped. And it was Idolaf Battleborn, who was kidnapped by a bunch of Falmer for some reason. I think it's like insert faction here, insert cave here, go find the person and save their life. So yeah, we saved Idolaf Battleborn from Shimmermist Cave and took him back to Whiterun. I think we also fought a couple of dragons in that one, including a frost dragon. Which I almost beat them both, and then died just as I was killing the second one, and I forgot to save it. And then the next time I only fought one dragon. So yeah, some stuff happened there that reminded me once again that I need to save things regularly. Anyway, we now are back on the regular and important companions quests, and we've got one called the Silver Hand. Skjor and Ayla say they have some sort of special assignment for me. I'm supposed to meet them underneath the Skyforge tonight. So we did talk to Skjor and start that quest off, but he wasn't really very clear on what exactly he wanted us to do. But from what I remember, it seems like they're beginning to trust us with some more secrets. We already know that the members of the inner circle of the companions are werewolves, because Vilkus was forced to transform in front of us to defend himself, so
we drink to our youth, to
yeah.
days come and gone, for the age of aggression is just about done.
Sounds good. Sven, you just keep singing. I'm just going to keep murdering my enemies. I'm not sure exactly what is going to be in this quest. I mean, I'm kind of sure. I know roughly what it's about. But I don't know the deets. So we're going to find out today. Don't have a follower for the time being. Don't mind me, Skjor, I'm just struggling to get over this fence. This is nighttime, right?
Prepared?
What is this place?
Here's all you need to know. Jorvaskr is the oldest building in Whiterun. Skyforge was here long before it was. And the Underforge taps an ancient magic that is older than men or elves.
Ooh.
We bring you here to make you stronger, Blood. Now let's move.
Are you doing what I think you're gonna do, Skjor? Oh, right, that's a totally secret door that no one could figure out. I mean, it's not completely obvious, but you can kind of tell. Like, if there's gonna be a door underground, it's gonna be there.
It's been a long time since we had a heart like yours among our numbers. That pitiful
werewolf.
and the hall does not befit warriors like us. You are due more honor than some calls and feasting. I would hope you recognize Ayla, even in this.
Oh, hey Ayla.
She's agreed to be your forebear. We do
What's
this
that
in
mean?
secret because Kodlak is too busy trying to throw away this great gift we've been granted. He thinks we've been cursed, but we've been blessed. How can something that gives this kind of prowess be a curse? So we take matters into our own hands. To reach the heights of the companions, you must join with us in the shared blood of the wolf. Are you prepared to join your spirit with the beast world, friend?
Wow. Okay, so they make people werewolves in secret now because Codlac Whitemane doesn't want to be a werewolf anymore, and which he did tell us about, so that's not a surprise. But I don't see why he wouldn't approve of anyone else being a werewolf if they want to be. What if I don't want to be a werewolf? I'm ready. Sure, I'm ready.
Very well.
Kinda evil. Oh. Alright, so Ayla's not really making a big fuss about that. Participate in the blood ritual. Okay. Oh, she still talks even while she's a werewolf. Nice. What else is in this cave? Oh, it just goes back outside to Skyrim. How did I enter through here? Yeah. Where does this lead out to? Maybe I shouldn't find out. Maybe I will break something.
The blood calls, brother.
Okay, well, am I supposed to take a drink here?
Until next time.
What? What's going on? Oh no. Well, I'm a werewolf now. And there's combat music. Can I just stay here? I don't want to fight anyone in Whiterun. Heck. Oh, new perks become available after feeding on enough corpses. Each new perk requires a few more feedings. Do 25% more damage. Oh, you could do... Damn, I didn't realise there was a whole perk tree for werewolves. It's shaped a bit like a claw. I get it. I can't access my inventory. So am I just like stuck as a werewolf? Okay, I can scratch people. I can jump. I cannot sneak, not surprised. Oh, is it wearing off? Okay. I don't know if I was supposed to go on a rampage and start tearing people apart, but I really didn't want to do that. Well, I'm finally awake.
Are you awake? I was starting to think you might never come back. Yours was not an easy transformation, but you're still alive.
Blood Oath, become a member of the Circle.
We even have a celebration planned for you. There's a pack of werewolf hunters camped nearby at Gallows Rock. The Silver Hand. I think you've met them before.
I have indeed.
We're going to slaughter them. All of them. Lead on. Skior's already scouting ahead.
Okay, talk to Ayla, kill the werewolf hunters. Alright, so this is the actual quest part. Turning into a werewolf was not the whole quest. Alright, what just happened?
You were born into the pack, brother. I almost envy you. That first time is always the most intense. You gave us even more trouble than Farkas did at his first turning.
Am I a werewolf now?
You have the blood of the wolf in you. You'll need to build up your strength before you can call on it again, though. Just be careful where you do it. Some cowards in this land can't stand the sight of glory before them.
I can understand being scared of a werewolf. I can sort of get it, you know. They're a little bit big, a little bit out of control, and can probably kill you pretty easily. We saw what it was Farkas, wasn't it? Not Vilkas, who transformed and killed all of those Silver Hand guys. What does it mean to be a werewolf?
Nothing until you choose to use it. Then, well, you got a taste. stronger, faster. It doesn't last long, though. The blood of your foes can
You
sustain
forget you need to feed
if
to
you're willing to feed.
keep yourself in
The
werewolf
more
mode.
we feed, the greater our prowess will grow. We could perhaps discover even more gifts of Hercene.
Yep, Hercene is the Daedra Lord that loves hunting, so it makes sense. Is there a cure?
Cure? Ha! You're sounding like the old man. I shouldn't say that. I love Kodlak. I respect and follow him, but he's wrong on this. It's no curse. We're made into the greatest hunters in the land. If he's worried about some mead-swilling afterlife in Sovngarde, he's free to pursue it. I'll take the glories of the hunt right here.
Okay, respectful enough of someone else's opinion. Where are we going?
The Silver Hand have taken over the old fort at Gallows Rock. They always make such easy prey.
Alright, so we're killing people who are werewolf hunters, and apparently we're the good guys.
I'll take my leave then.
What? Oh, Ayla's following me now. Wait, where did my other weapon go? Hey, come on now, don't need to be taking my weapons away from me. Right, grab the shrooms. Oh, I guess this is the place. Where are we in the map? Okay, we're not too far away from Whiterun. I was wondering how I managed to teleport outside the city. Gallows Rock discovered. Oh, we've already got enemies who are aware of our presence. Oh, not strong enemies, mind you.
Is someone there?
Wait, what? I was charging a power attack and then it stopped. Okay, sweet. Let's grab all of your stuff. Delicious flour. Orcish bow. Iron arrows. Let's go back down and see what they had down there. Carriages. Orange Dartwing, Minor Healing, Swamp Fungal Pod. Here's where I check my list. Do I have a Swamp Fungal Pod? Would I have remembered? No, I don't. Okay. So do not eat this one. Apples. Beef, golds. Okay, grab all of that. We're probably already nearly full. No, actually, we've got quite a bit left. Okay. So, nothing too difficult with the Silver Hand so far. Just checking if there's anything significant we missed up here. Nah, not really. Could go up to the top of that, I guess, but let's just go inside and handle the Silver Hand. Grab some more apples. Some salt. Salt is always good. Gallows Rock. So Skewer should already be in here scouting ahead. So he shouldn't be in too much trouble. They've got some wolves' heads on pikes there. Yeah, this is a Silver Hand, alright. Okay, we've got ourselves a mini-map. Lovely. ourselves shrooms, a shovel, a pickaxe, which we probably will drop later.
Look at this. Cowards must have locked the place down after Skior charged in. You can taste the fear.
Oh, so Skjor charged in. He wasn't scouting ahead. He was just... Okay. He just wanted to scrap. So he might have already cleared this cave out. Or at least some of it. Well, you see, locking this place down doesn't really work when you leave the chain to open it outside. Baskets. Okay, good. Oh, hello.
That's all you got?
How did that take you so long, Ayla? Like one hit got him like 99% of his health. Okay, hawk feathers, gold, cure poison. Not bad. Wait. I didn't kill that guy. Did I? Maybe I did. Probably it. Maybe it probably was me. Alright, Druid books, leather strips, horsehide, leather strips, healing. Ooh. So that's, can we cook on that? I don't know. Grab some bread, some garlic, some lavender, a drum, a pot.
Huh?
Didn't notice this wine on the floor. Guess maybe the silver hand had been drinking a little too readily, huh? Rabbit legs or pile. Charred skeever hide, delicious. Unironically. Oh. Well.
There's a dead one, isn't there? Thought so. Nope. Nobody we know by the smell. Some can't separate the animal from themselves. Go feral. This poor sod could have been anyone. We should keep moving.
Okay, Ayla. Just let me grab this human flesh and wolf pelt from him first. Torture tools. I've never seen this item before. It's like a 2D rendering of different torture tools. And I just grab them all. Nice. Oh, there's Briarheart. Oh. So there's been some Forsworn in here? Pine-fresh egg? I'm presuming we have been a Forsworn Briarheart. So we should already have, yeah, we already have one. So we can eat one. And we get back some magicka from eating someone's heart. Nice. Just checking what we're getting everything. Potatoes. Sword, shield. Chest, plentiful healing, amulet of Julianos. Increases magicka by 10. Which isn't really that much. Well, we are using Kinnereth to increase our stamina by 10. Which also isn't that much, but it's not bad. Just grabbing all these knickknacks. We're almost at our carry weight, but We've got a lot of useless stuff we can drop anyway. I appreciate your dedication to sneaking, Ayla. Okay, so that goes towards where we're meant to go, so let's go the other way. Okay, we came from there. There's 2 ways to go. Let's go this way. If we can. We can. Shrooms.
No surprise they keep vermin around. Filthy squalor.
Oh. Skeever. Leg of goat roast. Some slaughterfish. Oh, the silver hands eat good, you gotta give them that. Hiding daggers under the table just in case they get interrupted during dinner. Smart. Ooh. Right, well, let's not trigger that trap.
That the best you can do?
There's another one apparently. Oh, he's not dead. Right. Cure disease. Silver greatsword. Nice. Let's grab this guy's stuff. Oh, we got a sneak increase. Why? Who are we sneaking up on now? I don't know. Alright, let's put some stuff away then. Okay. Probably iron sword. Less than 3. Pickaxes, double what they're worth. You only need 1. We're definitely keeping the torture tools. I would assume we have fur shoes. Yeah. Okay, you can get rid of baskets, buckets, and this pot.
Speak to me, shield brother.
Oh, you can ask her, what is this place?
Old fort, abandoned for years. They're like jackals, making their home anywhere they can find. Until next time.
Imagine this trap works pretty well with werewolves. Okay. I guess ruin books can go to. Okay, we can keep some for now. We're probably going to find some stuff in this place that's going to be worth keeping. Oh, okay. Push me into a corner. Why don't you, Ayla? Flute. Hunting bow, more rune books. See, now I need to get out. Take that arrow. Thanks for firing it. Yeah. Rune books. Probably iron sword. That'll do for now. And now we search for prison cells, because there's usually at least something in one of them.
Nothing we can do for these ones now. Don't even want to think about what those Cretans did to them before they died.
There we go. Human flesh, wolf felt. Ragged trousers. I wonder if they're ragged just because they're werewolves. Don't need to take those. We'll use the lockpicking practice though. Yeah, we didn't need to actually pick that lock. Yeah, just to let me out, thank you. Oh, there's another person right there, huh? Okay. Oh, there's another one. Nice one, healer. You fought. Nice work, my friend. Let's continue looting this place. Novice lock, there's nothing in here. But it's free lockpicking skill. Arrows, gold. Why do they all have hawk feathers? I don't understand that. Lord meat, cure disease, armor. Yeah, this is good stuff. Alright, we'll figure out what to put back. Iron shield, probably. Steel armor. It's not too bad. Oh, we're still holding a drum. That would be one thing to get rid of. Iron dagger. Anything 6. Longbow, probably. Hide shield just over 6. Okay, minus stamina, canis root, grab ingredients. Didn't really want the basket. Probably remember to drop it. Another dagger under the table. Silverhand classic, it would seem. High gold. Cure disease, arrows. Okay. Hunting bow 7. Hide shield can go. Alright. Let's finish off. Oh. Ooh, can we release one? Will it attack us? And Loki, well, not Loki, I want to find out. Oh, it's a werewolf savage. Okay. So, some of these werewolves will attack us. Good to know. Even if we let them go, they don't recognize that we've done them a solid. Cheese. More cheese than we can carry. Probably the steel armor, right? Yeah, that's the steel armor. That's going to give us a fair amount of room. Skull. Okay, this one's dead. Okay, yeah. Do they program you to stand in doorways or... How are we looking map-wise? Okay, we're sort of looping back around. Oh, we're still nowhere near that part. Shovel, shovel, werewolf head. So they've killed a few of them. And no mugs, they know what they're doing. Oops, 7 gold. Oh, did not want to take that shovel. You have that back, sir. Line and Lure. I think that's a fishing book, which we've already read, I would assume. Yeah. So we'll leave it there. We'll take the healing. Jade and Sapphire, I think we've got that. I will check. Did I not put Miss... Yeah, I did. No, it's not. It's not Miss Skyrim, it's Apparel. Jade and Sapphire, I didn't mean to grab all of it. But can go back. Definitely leave a shovel. Right, sure. Anything else hidden among these? Probably not. Right, just do a quick save just in case.
What was that? What was that?
Never should have come here.
You can't hide from me.
Oh, there was a way up here.
Do your worst. Enough.
I decided, but it's enough. Alright, I'm assuming you did help there, Ayla. It's hard to tell sometimes. We'll take Gourd. Frost Miriam, Rabbit Leg, Dragon's Tongue. Oh, I was not expecting that. Bear Pelt. Sure. Take the leather strips. Yep, and take Horsehide. Leather strips, Blisterwort. Gold. I'll take the fur stuff, most of the fur stuff for now. We'll probably end up dropping some of it. That carrot looks mouldy, but we'll take it. More shrooms. Gold. High armor, still high value, but we'll evaluate. Right, Onkish bow, that's about it's about 16, 15 to 16. I think 9 into 50, 1, 9 to 60 is 6, yeah, 16 to 17. Fur armor's like about 8. Yeah, all of this stuff is pretty useful. So I would rather keep my miss up flute. I'll bear in mind that's not that useful. Alright, yeah, let's get rid of the fur armor then. Songs of Return, Volume 56. We have read it, so we'll leave it there. We'll take Silver Sword, and we'll leave some more fur armor behind. Leather. Cheese, grilled leeks, nice. Pelts, we'll take. There's another tanning rack. They're trying to get us to use it, I guess, with all the leather and pelts lying around. Cure disease, leather armor, arrows, silver sword, imperial bow. Steel cuff boots probably should have gone first. Let me just double check. Yeah, we've got those. We can drop them. Ooh, Ice Wolf pelt. Snow Bear pelt. Oh, there's a dead Imperial here. I wonder if this was a werewolf or just someone they just felt like killing. Another tanning rack. Cow. Yeah, cow. Nope. We'll take a cow. Isn't there another guy killed in a corner somewhere? Oh yeah, that was him. Looted you, looted... Okay, I think we've looted everyone here. Let's see if we can use the tanning rack. Just double check. We've got all of the hides that we're planning to use. Horse hide. Okay. Let's try and get under our carry weight. We're turning all this leather into leather strips. Okay, cool. Oh, hey, look. So where do we go? There's upstairs. Can't tell if this way. This way looks kind of like the way forward. Let's see what's up here. You can look at this little section, not that there is anything. Oh, we missed a wolf pelt. Okay, there's plenty of spare tanning racks. Iron mace. Oh, I didn't mean to take the lantern. Saw. Okay, we don't need a saw. Carrot gold healing. Black Arrow. Volume 1. We have read it, okay. Gold diamond necklace, that is a lot of money. And then what do we just pick up? Lantern, yeah, you can take that back. Girl's grey dress. Would that be a misc item? Because I doubt I'd be able to wear it. Girl's red dress is there. Okay, so we don't have a grey dress. We'll take that. Another pelt. Pickaxe, ruined book, and a book called The Importance of Wear. Doesn't sound like one we've read. Let's see if we get a skill out of it. Ooh, one hand increase to 70. That's a very good one to get. The Importance of Wear. Ancient Tales of the Dwemer, Part 3, by Marabar Sul. The chieftain of Othrabar gathered his wise men together and said, "Every morning a tenfold of my flock are found butchered. What is the cause?" Fangbiff, the war leader, said, "A monster may be coming down from the mountain and devouring your flock." Gorg the healer said, "A strange new disease perhaps is to blame." Baron the priest said, "We must sacrifice to the goddess for her to save us." The wise men made sacrifices, and while they waited for their answers from the goddess, Fangbiff went to Mentor Yoltereg and said, "You taught me well how to forge the cudgel of Zolia, and how to wield it in combat, but I must know now when it is wise to use my skill. Do I wait for the goddess to reply, or the medicine to work, or do I hunt the monster which I know is in the mountain?" Oh, is that monster going to be a werewolf? When is not important, said Yoltereg. Where is all that is important. So Fangbiff took his Zolik cudgel in hand and walked far through the dark forest until he came to the base of a great mountain. There he met two monsters. One, bloodied with the flesh of the chieftain of Othrabar's flock, fought him while his mate fled. Fangbiff remembered what his master had taught him, that where was all that was important. He struck the monster on each of its 5 vital points: head, groin, throat, back, and chest. 5 blows to the 5 points, and the monster was slain. It was too heavy to carry with him, but still triumphant. Fangbiff returned to Othrabar. "I say I have slain the monster that ate your flock," he cried. "What proof have you that you have slain any monster?" asked the chieftain. "I say I have saved the flock with my medicine," said Gorg the healer. "I saw the goddess has saved the flock by my sacrifices," said Baron the priest. 2 mornings went by and the flocks were safe, but on the morning of the 3rd day another tenfold of the chieftain's flock was found butchered. Gorg the healer went to his study to find a new medicine. Baron the priest prepared more sacrifices. Fangbiff took his Zolik cudgel in hand again and walked far through the dark forest until he came to the base of a great mountain. There he met the other monster, bloodied with the flesh of a chieftain of Othrabar's flock. They did battle, and again Fangbiff remembered what his master had taught him, that where was all that was important. He struck the monster 5 times on the head, and it fled. Chasing it along the mountain, he struck it 5 times in the groin, and it fled. Maybe he should have gone for the legs first. Running through the forest, Fangbiff overtook the monster and struck it 5 times in the throat, and it fled. What kind of a werewolf is this? Entering into the fields of Othrabar, Fangbiff overtook the monster and struck it 5 times in the back, and it fled. They overtook it and then hit it in the back? At the foot of the stronghold, the chieftain and his wise men emerged to the sound of the monster wailing. There they beheld the monster that had slain the chieftain's flock. Fangbiff struck the monster 5 times in the chest, and it was slain. A great feast was held in Fangbiff's honour, and the flock of Othrabar was never again slain. Joltereg embraced his human and said, "You have at last learned the importance of where you strike your blows." Alright, so the where wasn't like where in the body you hit them, it was where you actually kill them. Publisher's note. This tale is another which has an obvious origin among the Ashlander tribes of Vardenfell and is one of their oldest tales. Marabar Sul merely changed the names of the character to sound more dwarven and resold it as part of his collection. Oh, so this wasn't actually the Dwemer. The great mountain in the tale is clearly Red Mountain, despite its description of being forested. The starfall and later eruptions destroyed the vegetation on Red Mountain, giving it the wasted appearance it has today. This tale does have some scholarly interest as it suggests a primitive Ashlander culture, but it talks of living in strongholds much like the ruined strongholds on Vardenfell today. There are even references to a stronghold of Othrabar, somewhere between Vardenfell and Skyrim. The few strongholds outside of sparsely settled Vardenfell have survived to the present. Scholars do not agree on who built these strongholds or when, but I believe it is clear from this story and other evidence that the Ashlander tribes used these strongholds in the ancient past instead of making camps of wickweed huts as they do today. The play on words that forms the lesson of the fable, that it is important to know where the monster should be slain at the stronghold, as it is to know where the monster must be struck on its body to be slain, is typical of many Ashlander tales. Riddles, even ones as simple as this one, are loved by both the Ashlanders and the vanished Dwemer, although the Dwemer are usually portrayed as presenting the riddles rather than being the ones who solve it, as in Ashlander tales. Cool. Very nice. So wait, there's a way to go up here and there's a way to go down there. Where's this lead if this isn't forward? Or maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Okay. Pots, tankards, bowls, all that. We can leave that for now. Grab apple. Ah, hidden chest. Not really hidden, but, you know. Ooh, juniper berries. Do we know what those do? Yes. All the books here are dead. Tomatoes, carrots. This chest, gold, iron, lockpicks, healing. Carrying too much. Are we going for 10 now? I think so. So yeah, I guess. We have a deer pelt. I couldn't turn that into leather. Weird. Okay. Right, I guess we're getting rid of 10 things, so hide armor can go. Ooh, master lock. That's why the other chest gave us some lockpicks. Oh, there we go. No, come on, that's not fair, man. Okay. There we go. Lockpicking up to 40. Soul gem, 111 gold, 4 lockpicks. I feel like we lost a little bit more there. Scroll of mass paralysis. And a Welkin stone. Did not expect to find one of those here. Okay, so upstairs is the way forward. Random bit of water here. Okay. Oh, hello. I should probably not be taking a bunch of free hits. Yeah, that hurt. That was one of the stronger members. Restoration buff. Getting closer to that level up. Gold, hook feathers. Don't need any iron armor, do we? Maybe we do. Maybe we do need iron armor. I always assumed we didn't. Anything 10. Silver greatsword. The flute we can drop to. Silver greatsword and silver sword. Okay, we don't need to carry these. A basket with a bowl in it. Ooh. Take 3 ingredients. Always look inside the pots. Is that, can we cook? No, we can grab their egg and cheese though. Healing, steak. Alright, I was worried that something random would happen and I would just explode. Let's get gold. Anything in these pots? No. Oh, we already checked those. I think. Yeah, we came from here. A book called Last Scabbard of Akrash. Okay, I don't think we've read this one. It's probably a skill book. It is a smithing book. This is a smithing room, that makes sense. Last Scabbard of Akrash by Tabar Vunkit. For several warm summer days, in the year 407, a young, pretty Dharma woman in a veil regularly visited one of the master armourers in the city of Ter. The locals decided that she was young and pretty by her figure and her poise, though no one ever saw her face. She and the armourer would retire to the back of his shop, and he would close down his business and dismiss his apprentices for a few hours. Right. Then at mid-afternoon she would leave, only to return at precisely the same time the next day. As gossip goes, it was fairly meagre stuff, but what the old man was doing with such a well-dressed and attractively proportioned woman was the source of several crude jokes. After several weeks, the visit stopped and life returned to normal in the slums of Ter. It was not until a month or two after the visit had stopped that in one of the many taverns in the neighbourhood, a young local tailor, having imbibed too much sauce, asked the armourer, "So, whatever happened to your lady friend? You break her heart?" The armourer, well aware of the rumours, simply replied, "She is a proper young lady of quality. There was nothing between her and the likes of me." "What was she doing at your shop every day for?" asked the tavern wench, who had been dying to get the subject open. "If you must know," said the armourer, "I was teaching her the craft." "You're putting us on," laughed the tailor. "No, the young lady had a particular fascination with my particular kind of artistry," the armourer said, with a hint of pride before getting lost in the reverie. "I taught her how to mend swords specifically, from all kinds of nicks and bricks, hairline fissures, cracked pommels, quillons, and grips. When she first started, she had no idea how to secure the grips to the tang of a blade. Well, of course she was green to start off with, why wouldn't she be? But she weren't afraid to get her hands dirty. I taught her how to patch the little inlaid silver and gold filigree you find on really fine blades, and how to polish it all to a mirror sheen so the sword looks like the gods just pulled it from their celestial anvil." The tavern wench and the tailor laughed out loud. No matter what he alleged, the armourer was speaking of the young lady's training as another man speaks of a long-lost love. More of the locals in the tavern would have listened to the armourer's pathetic tale, but more important gossip had taken precedence. There was another murdered slave trader found in the centre of town, gutted from fore to aft. That made 6 of them total in barely a fortnight. Some called the killer the Liberator, but that sort of anti-slavery zeal was rare among the common folk. Alright, I'm calling it now. The killer is the lady that's been getting her sword fixed or learning how to fix swords. They preferred calling him the Lopper, as several of the earlier victims had been completely beheaded. Others had been simply perforated, sliced, or gutted, but the Lopper still kept his original sobriquet. While the enthusiastic hooligans made bets about the condition of the next slave trader's corpse, several dozen of the surviving members of that trade were meeting at the manor house of Serior Dres Minagor. Minagor was a minor houseman of House Dres, but a major member of the slave trading fraternity. Perhaps his best years were behind him, but his associates still counted on him for wisdom. "We need to take what we know of this Lopper and search accordingly," said Minagor, seated in front of his opulent hearth. "We know he has an unreasonable hatred of slavery and slave traders. We know he is skilled with a blade. We know he has the stealth and finesse to execute our most well-secured brethren in their most secure abodes. This sounds to me to be an adventurer, an outlander. Surely no citizen of Morrowind would strike at us like this." The slave traders nodded in agreement. An outlander seemed most likely for their troubles. It was always true. "Were I 50 years younger, I would take down my blade Akrash from the hearth," Minagor made an expensive gesture to the shimmering weapon, "and join you in seeking out this terror. Search him out where adventurers meet, taverns and guild halls, then show him a little lopping of my own." The slave traders laughed politely. "You wouldn't let us borrow your blade for the execution, I suppose, would you, Sergio?" asked Soren Gellers, a young toadying slaver, enthusiastically. "It would be an excellent use for Akrash," sighed Minagor, "but I vowed to retire her when I retired." Minagor called for his daughter Pelaya to bring the slavers more flint, but they waved the girl away. "Oh, is it going to be her?" It was to be a night for hunting the leper, not drinking away their troubles. Minogor heartily approved of their devotion, particularly as expensive as the liquor was getting to be. When the last of the slavers had left, the old man kissed his daughter on the head, took one last admiring look at Akrash, and toddled off to his bed. No sooner had he done so than Pelaya had the blade off the mantle, and was flying with it across the field behind the manor house. She knew Kazakh had been waiting for her for hours in the stables. He sprang out at her from the shadows, and wrapping his strong, furry arms around her, kissed her long and sweet, holding him as long as she dared to. Oh, so is that a Khajiit slave, which she maybe fell in love with? Holding him as long as she dared to, she finally broke away and handed him the blade. He tested its edge. The finest Khajiiti swordsmith couldn't hone an edge this keen, he said. Oh, so she's not doing the killing, but she's fixing the blade so that the Khajiit can kill it with Akrash as well, and the guy doesn't even recognize that his own blade's being used to kill his fellow slave traders. That's pretty funny. Looking at his beloved with pride. And I know I nicked it up good last night. That you did, said Pelaya. You must have cut through an iron cuirass. The slavers are taking precautions now. He replied. What did they say during their meeting? They think it's an outlander adventurer. She laughed. It didn't occur to any of them that a Khajiiti slave would possess the skill to commit all these loppings. And your father doesn't suspect that it's his dear Akrash that is striking into the heart of oppression. Why would he, when every day he finds it fresh as the day before? Now I must go before anyone notices I'm gone. My nurse sometimes comes in to ask me some detail about the wedding, as if I had any choice in the matter at all. I promise you, said Kazakh very seriously, you will not be forced into any marriage to cement your family's slave-dealing dynasty. The last scabbard Akrash will be sheathed into will be your father's heart. And when you are an orphan, you can free the slaves, move to a more enlightened province, and marry who you like. I wonder who that will be, Pelaya teased and raced out of the stables. Just before dawn, Pelaya awoke and crept out to the garden, where she found Akrash hidden in the bitter green vines. The edge was still relatively keen, but there were scratches vertically across the blade's surface. Another beheading, she thought, as she took pumice stone and patiently rubbed out the marks, finally polishing it with a solution of salt and vinegar. It was up on the mantel in pristine condition when her father came into the sitting room for his breakfast. When the news came that Kemilif Torom, Pelaya's husband-to-be, had been found outside of a canton, his head on the spike some feet away, she did not have to pretend to grieve. Her father knew she did not want to marry him. It is a shame, he said. The lad was a good slaver. There are plenty of other young men who would appreciate an alliance with our family. What about young Sorongeles? 2 days later, Sorongeles was visited by Valopa. The struggle did not take long, but Soron had armed himself. Do you know why this dude had that? With one small defense, a needle dipped in the ichor of poison plant hidden up his sleeve. After the mortal blow, he collapsed forward and struck Kazakh in the calf with a pin. By the time he made it back to the Minogor manor house, he was dying. Vision blurring, he climbed up to the eaves of the house to Pelaya's window and rapped. Pelaya did not answer immediately, as she was in a deep, wonderful sleep, dreaming about her future with her Khajiiti lover. It's too bad. He rapped louder, which woke up not only Pelaya, but also her father in the next room. Kazakh! She cried, opening up the window. The next person in the bedroom was Minogor himself. As he saw it, this slave, his property, was about to lop off the head of his daughter, his property, with his sword, his property. Suddenly, with the energy of a young man, Minogor rushed at the dying Khajiit, knocking the sword out of his hand. Before Pelaya could stop him, her father had thrust the blade into her lover's heart. The excitement over, the old man dropped the sword and turned to the door to call the guard. As an afterthought, it occurred to him to make certain that his daughter hadn't been injured and might require a healer. Minogor turned to her. For a moment he felt simply disoriented, feeling the force of a blow, but not the blade itself. Then he saw the blood and felt the pain before he fully realized that his daughter had stabbed him with Akrash. He was dead. The blade at last found its scabbard. A week later, after the official investigations, the slave was buried in an unmarked grave in the manor field, and Sergio Dres, Minogor, found his resting place in a modest corner of the family's opulent mausoleum. A larger crowd of curious onlookers came to view the funeral of a noble slaver whose secret life was as the savage lopper of his competitors. The audience was respectfully quiet, for there was not a person there not imagining the final moments of a man's life, attacking his own daughter in his madness, luckily defended by the loyal hapless slave before turning the blade on himself. Among the viewers was an old armourer who saw for one last time the veiled young lady before she disappeared forever from Terre. Damn. If only she'd been paying attention the first time he knocked on the window. Right, Ayla? Ayla knows what I'm talking about. She was listening to the whole story. Okay, what else have we got in this room? Bucket. Anvil and workbench. Yeah, I need Quicksilver to upgrade armor I'm wearing. Or leather. Oh, I turn all my leather into leather strips. Damn. Should have saved one. I can make armor. Yeah, I don't know if I can make anything useful at the moment. Don't suppose you left these smithing materials around, maybe in here. Picking up to 41 with one more skill level up from full level up. Oh, soul gem. Gold. Coin purse. Thistle branch. Healing potions. Don't need fishing clothes, do we? Nope. You may stay in there. Bucket, broom, basket. Flawless garnet gold, yeah. I'll take that. Okay, this is starting to loop round. Haven't seen Skewer yet, and we've seen a lot of
We're getting
Silverhand.
close now. Be careful. Their leader is a tricky one.
How do you know?
They call him the Skinner. I don't
Skinner?
think I need to tell you why.
Okay. Well, we're well equipped, so don't worry. Hey, I've got this. But Skewer, yeah, the fact that there's so many Silverhands alive and Skewer is nowhere to be found is not a good sign. Like, what did he exactly do here? If he didn't kill anyone? Did he sneak past everyone? Ooh, 10 leather strips. Let's see here, just in case this guy really is pretty tough. Oh, Skinner. Skinner, please. I wasn't expecting Skinner to be that strong. Can we cook beef? Yeah. Anything else? Salmon steak. Oh my god. Okay, he's tough. I leveled up a little too late. Ah, so yeah, this guy can take like at least 80% of my health with one shot. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh wait, this time we just get detected. Okay, this guy's dead quickly. Oh, this guy is beelining for me. Does not seem fair. Alright, we leveled up. Maybe we save a level up for when we're about to die the next time. Wait, what's going on? Why is my controllers going crazy? Oh, Skewer's dead. That can't be good. Hey, how's it going over there, bud? Oh god. Heal. Wait, no. Let's just level up. Yeah, let's. How about some health? Yeah, health seems good. Right now we haven't upgraded our health in a while. I know we're still having problems with carry weight, but we're also having problems with dying. Light armor's 50. Which might have unlocked some stuff. One-handed though is 70. Also might have unlocked some stuff. Mace's ignore armor could be helpful right now. Oh wait, was there one up here I can do? Dual wielding power attacks do 50% bonus damage. Dual wielding attacks, oh we already got that. Power attacks do both 50% extra damage. That is a tempting one. What were we saying? I'm on light armor. Light armor weighs nothing and doesn't slow you down when worn. That's very tempting as well. Does that include light armor we're not wearing? Can we just pick up as much light armor as we want? Yeah, I feel like it's got to be that. Just to make us faster, even, is still a big benefit. What's the next one after that? Stamina regenerates faster in all light armor. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Why can't I shout? My shout button's not working. I don't have a shout selected. Yeah, for some reason it unselected my shout. Okay. Oh, we got him now. Take that, Krev the Skinner. Yeah, Skewer's dead. Sorry about that, Ayla. That must kinda suck. Light armor's supposed to weigh nothing, right? That a clear cave sound, I think. Steel mace. Handed iron shield. Iron boots. Take bone meal. Iron greatsword. Don't think we need that, do we? Okay. Gold, arrows. So the sword will still take. Alright, let's loot Krev. 202 gold. Now that steel plate armor is nice. Don't actually need it. Elven mace. There's probably stuff we can drop. We're really gonna drink wine. We do have 13 silver swords. 7 to 100. Yeah, probably a few of these. So 23, 27, so 4. There we go. Yeah, we also saw that Secure died. Very sad, of course. Take all of that. I'm trying to avoid the quest for now, but we're eventually going to have to.
The bastards. Somehow they managed to kill Skior. He was one of the strongest we had, but numbers can overwhelm. He should not have come without a shield brother. Get out of here. I'm going to make sure we got the last of them, and see if there's any information to be gotten from the bodies.
I've been checking.
You and I have work to do. The Silver Hand will tremble at our sight.
And it's quest complete. What's our first target?
Good that you're so eager. I've caught wind that one of the brighter Silver Hand has been sniffing around Hjalmarch. If you can sneak into their camp and steal his plans, we'll have the advantage.
Stealing plans.
I'm
Okay.
gonna find whoever did this.
Okay. Good stuff, Ayla. I guess you're not following me anymore, which is kind of sad. But we can find our own stuff. Filter of illusion.
Have you been bringing the battle to the Silver Hand, friend? I wish I could be there with you. Soon enough.
You literally just watched me at battle with the Silver Hand, Ayla. Good talk, though. Turning rack. Oh, we can turn something to leather, and then we could potentially go back and upgrade our hide thing. Yeah. Let's not turn that one into strips. Skewer. Oh, he has unique armor. Or at least... Wolf armor, wolf boost, Skyforge steel sword, Skyforge steel dagger. Well, I hate to strip your friend naked, but... Come on, man. You got some cool gear. We'll give him some silver swords back, even though he's a werewolf and probably hates the fact that silver swords are there. 6 should do. Look down there. Let's open this chest too. Gold, soul gem, necklace, elven bow of binding. Fills a soul gem. Staff of soul trapping. Fills a soul gem. Wow, these guys likes trapping people in soul gems. Is that enough? Yeah, okay. Just about got rid of all of our silver swords. I actually want to go back to the part where we could fix our armor or improve our armor and just see if we can do that. Can't remember what we needed. It was Quicksilver for the Dark Seducer armor, wasn't it? It goes workbench. No, that's making armor, I think. No. Wait, what? Requires level 1. I have level 1. I guess I need more... I need more armor skill, don't I? Or smithing skill before I can upgrade enchanted gear. That makes sense. Rest in peace, skill.
Have you been bringing the battle to the Silver Hand, friend? I wish I could be there with you. Soon enough. I hope the hunting goes well, brother. We've got the cowards on their heels now.
Wait.
I've heard you. I'll show you what I know.
Might as well, right? Cost a bit of money, but get level up progress, some archery skill. So is this the other way we could have gone? Maybe this way would have been blocked. That's quite possible too. Iron boots, basket skull, banded iron armor. Oh, let's be careful. Don't have Vandine armor. So, Crab Fat, Apple, Mystery of Talara Volume 1. Is that a book you've read? No, it's not. Okay, we'll read that in a sec. Another shiny necklace. Well, we need to drop some more stuff. Don't have any Skyforge stuff, do we? We do, but I don't think we have any of those. We have a Skyforge steel greatsword, but not a steel sword, which still pales in comparison to our Mason war axe. Steel horned helmet. Yeah, we got one, okay. And we're just about good. Right, Mystery of Talara Volume 1. The Mystery of Princess Talara Part 1 by Mera Likith. The year was Third Era 405. The occasion was the millennial celebration of the founding of the Breton kingdom of Camelot. Every grand boulevard and narrow alley was strung with gold and purple banners, some plain, some marked with the heraldic symbols of the royal family, or the various principalities and dukedoms which were vassals of the king. Musicians played in the plazas great and small, and on every street corner was a new exotic entertainer. Redguard snake charmers, Khajiiti acrobats, magicians of genuine power, and those whose flamboyant skill was equally impressive if largely illusion. The sight that drew most of the male citizens of Camelot was the March of Beauty. 1,000 comely young women, brightly and provocatively dressed, danced their way down the long, wide main street of the city from the Temple of Sephiete to the royal palace. The menfolk jostled one another and craned their necks, picking their favourites. It was no secret that they were all prostitutes, and after the march and the flower festival that evening, they would be available for more intimate business. Gaina attracted much of the attention with her tall, curvaceous figure, barely covered by strips of silk, and her curls of flaxen hair, specked with flower petals. In her late 20s, she wasn't the youngest of the prostitutes, but she was certainly one of the most desirable. It was clear by her demeanour that she was used to the lascivious glances, though she was far from jaded at the sight of the city in splendour. Compared to the squalid quarter of Daggerfall where she made her home, Camelot at the height of celebration seemed so unreal, and yet what was even stranger was how at the same time familiar it all looked, though she had never been there before. The king's daughter, Lady Gilia, rode out of the palace gates and immediately cursed her misfortune. She had completely forgotten about the March of Beauty. The streets were snarled at a standstill. It would take hours to wait for the march to pass, and she had promised her old nurse Ramka a visit in her house south of the city. Gilia thought for a moment, picturing in her mind the arrangements of streets in the city, and devised a shortcut to avoid the main streets and the march. For a few minutes she felt very clever as she wound her way through tight, curving side streets, but presently she came upon temporary structures, tents, and theatres set up for the celebration, and had to improvise a new path. In no time at all she was lost in the city where she had lived all but 5 years of her life. Peering down an alley, she saw the main avenue crowded with the March of Beauty. Hoping that it was the tail end, and desirous not to be lost again, Lady Gilia guided her horse toward the festival. She did not see the snake charmer at the mouth of the alley, and when his pet hissed and spread its hood, her charge reared up in fear. The women in the parade gasped and surged back at the sight, but Lady Gilia quickly calmed her stallion down. She looked abashed at the spectacle she had caused. "My apologies, ladies," she said with a mock military salute. "It's all right, madam," said the blonde in silk. "We'll be out of your way in a moment." Gilia stared as the march passed her. Looking at that whore had been like looking in a mirror. Ouch. That's a weird way to phrase it. The same age and height and hair and eyes and figure almost exactly. The woman looked back at her, and it seemed as if she was thinking the same thing. And so Jaina was. The old witches who sometimes came into Daggerfall had sometimes spoke of doppelgangers, spirits that assumed the guise of their victims and pretended certain death. Yet the experience had not frightened her. It seemed only one more strangely familiar aspect of the alien city. Before the march had danced its way into the palace gates, she had all but forgotten the encounter. The prostitutes crushed into the courtyard as the king himself came to the balcony to greet them. At his side was his chief bodyguard, a battle mage by the look of him. As for the king himself, he was a handsome man of middle age, rather unremarkable, but Jaina was awed at the sight of him. A dream, perhaps? Yes, that was it. She could see him as she had dreamt of him, high above her as he was now, bending down to kiss her. Not a one of lust as she had experienced before, but one of small fondness, the dutiful kiss. "Dear ladies, you have filled the streets of the great capital of Camlorn with your beauty," cried the king, forcing a silence on the giggling, murmuring assembly. He smiled proudly. His eyes met Jaina's, and he stopped, shaken. For an eternity they stayed locked together before His Highness recovered and continued his speech. Afterwards, while the women were all en route back to their tents to change into their costumes for the evening, one of the older prostitutes approached Jaina. "Did you see how the king looked at you? If you're smart, you'll be the new royal mistress before this celebration ends." "I've seen looks of hunger before, and that wasn't one of them," laughed Jaina. "I'd wager he thought I was someone else, like that lady who tried to run us over with her horse. She was a princess. He's probably his kin, and he thought she had dressed up like a courtesan and joined the March of Beauty. Can you imagine the scandal?" When they arrived at the tents, they were greeted by a stocky, well-dressed young man with a bold pate and a commanding presence of authority. He introduced himself as Lord Strail, ambassador to the Emperor himself, and their chief patron. It was Strail who had hired them on the Empire's behalf as a gift to the king and the kingdom of Camlorn. "The March of Beauty is but a precursor to the Flower Festival tonight," he said. Unlike the king, he did not have to yell to be heard. His voice was loud and precise in his natural modulations. "I expect each of you to perform well and justify the significant expense I've suffered bringing you all the way up here. Now hurry. You must be dressed and in position on Cavilstir Rock before the sun goes down." The ambassador needn't have worried. The women were all professionals, experts at getting dressed and undressed with none of the time-consuming measures less promiscuous females required. His manservant Norbuth offered his assistance, but found he had little to do. Their costumes were simplicity itself, soft, narrow sheets with a hole for their heads. Not even a belt was required, so the gowns were open at the sides, exposing the frame of their skin. So it was long before the sun had set that the prostitutes turned dancers were at Cavilstir Rock. It was a great wide promontory facing the sea, and for the occasion of the Festival of Flowers, a large circle of unlit torches and covered baskets had been arranged. As early as they were, a crowd of spectators had already arrived. The women gathered in the centre of the circle and waited until it was time. Jaina watched the crowd as it grew, and was not surprised when she saw the lady from the march approaching, hand in hand with a very old, very short, white-haired woman. The old woman was distracted, pointing out islands out at sea. The blonde lady seemed nervous, unsure of what to say. Jaina was used to dealing with uneasy clients and spoke first. "Good to see you again, madam. I am Jaina of Daggerfall. I am glad you bear me no ill will because of a horse. The lady laughed, somewhat relieved. "I am Lady Gilia Reyes, daughter of the king." "I always thought the daughters of kings were called princess," smiled Jaina. "In Camlorn, only when they are heirs to the throne. I have a younger brother from my father's new wife, whom he favours," Gilia replied. He felt her head swim. It was madness speaking to a common prostitute, talking of family politics so intimately. "Relative to that subject, I must ask you something very peculiar. Have you ever heard of the Princess Talora?" Jaina thought a moment. "The name sounds somewhat familiar. Why would I have?" "I don't know. It was a name I just thought you might recognize," sighed Lady Gilia. "Have you been to Camlorn before?" "If I did, it was when I was very young," said Jaina, and suddenly she felt it was her turn to be trusting. Something about the Lady Gilia's friendly and forthcoming manner touched her. "To be honest, I don't remember anything at all of my childhood before I was 9 or 10. Perhaps I was here with my parents, whoever they were, when I was a little girl. I tell you, I think perhaps I was. I don't recall ever being here before, but everything I've seen, the city, you, the king himself, all seem like I've been here before, long ago. Lady Gillia gasped and took a step back. She gripped the old woman who had been looking out to sea, murmuring by the hand. The elderly creature looked at Gillia, surprised, and then turned to Gina. Her radiant half-blind eyes sparkled with recognition as she made a sound like a grunt of surprise. Gina also jumped. If the king had seemed like something out of a half-forgotten dream, this woman was someone she knew, as clear and yet indistinct as a guardian spirit. I apologize, stammered Lady Gillia. This is my childhood nursemaid, Ramka. It's her! The old woman cried, wild-eyed. She tried to run forward, arms outstretched, but Gillia held her back. Gina felt strangely naked and pulled her robe against her body. No, you're wrong, Lady Gillia whispered to Ramka, holding the old woman tightly. Princess Talara is dead, you know that. I shouldn't have brought you back here. I'll take you back home. She turned back to Gina, her eyes welling with tears. The entire royal family of Camelon was assassinated over 20 years ago. My father was Duke of Aloy, the king's brother, and so he inherited the crown. I'm sorry to have bothered you. Good night. Gina gazed after Lady Gillia and the old nurse as they disappeared into the crowd, but she had little time to consider all she had heard. The sun was setting, and it was time for the flower festival. 12 young men emerged from the darkness, wearing only loincloths and masks, and lit the torches. The moment the fire blazed, Gina and all the rest of the dancers rushed out to the baskets, pulling out blossoms and vines by the handful. At first the women danced with one another, sprinkling petals to the wind. The crowd then joined in as the music swelled. It was a mad, beautiful chaos. Gina leapt and swooned like a wild forest nymph. Then without warning she felt rough hands grip her from behind and push her. She was falling before she understood it. The moment the realization hit, she was closer to the bottom of the 100-foot tall cliff than she was to the top. Did she fall 50 feet? Sounds like she should be dead. She flailed out her arms and grasped at the cliff wall. Her fingers raked against the stone and her flesh tore, but she found a grip and held it. For a moment she stayed there, breathing hard, then she began to scream. The music and the festival were too loud up above. No one could hear her. She could scarcely hear herself. Below her the surf crashed. Every bone in her body would snap if she fell. She closed her eyes and a vision came. A man was standing below her, a king of great wisdom, great compassion, looking up, smiling. A little girl, golden-haired, mischievous, her best friend and cousin, clung to the rock beside her. The secret to falling is making your body go limp, and with luck you won't get hurt, the girl said. She nodded, remembering who she was. 8 years of darkness lifted. She released her grip and let herself fall like a leaf into the water below. Okay, so from what I know about the story of Talara is they were twin sisters. One of them forgot who she was and probably felt the same way as she did now. But must have lost her memory. But once again, she had to lose her memory. Probably. Yeah, she is the Princess Talara. She must have been assumed dead, which is why she was told that she was assumed dead. Yeah. Interesting. I was wondering if I would get hurt by jumping into that fire. Good to know I don't. Steel War X. Don't think I need. I do not. Oops. Okay, so this door was actually barred, so he wouldn't have been able to go through. So we would have had to go around this whole cave anyway. So okay, we made it out. Does it say cleared now? Gallows Rock cleared. We've done it. Okay, let's go back to Riverwood. Drop off our stuff as per.
Oh, been tending your hounds? You smell like a wet dog.
Okay, so people already can tell I'm a werewolf. Although they said, would I smell like a wet dog? Isn't really a way to treat someone who saved the world, is it? I can... before we do that, we have special gear for that. Okay, so our carry weight went up because now the armor we're not wearing actually counts as heavy. Yep, let's use human flesh. Okay, we've discovered imp stool and human flesh can also paralyze. Let's increase our alchemy. So we've got a poison now that can paralyze and do poison damage.
This is a local favorite and one of the first songs I ever learned. Ragnar the Red. Oh, there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red. He came riding to Whiterun from old Rorikstead. And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade as he told of bold battles and gold he had made. But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red, when he met the shield maiden Matilda, who said, "Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie down and bleed." So then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal. And the braggart named Ragnar was
Come here.
no more when his ugly red head rolled around on the floor.
Okay, Briarheart and Red Mountain Flower also fortifies Magicka. Put this on. Juliano's Talos, yeah. I have to keep that. Wolf armor and wolf boots is interesting. Ingredients. What's the new one we found? Swamp fungal pod. New books. 122 leather strips. I didn't realise we had quite that many. Alright, I think we're good. Red scrolls. All the arrows. We probably don't need to carry all these arrows. I know they weigh nothing, but it kind of does clog up the inventory. That's okay.
This
Alright.
next song goes out to the...
Yep. Before you sing about me, Sven, I'm going to wrap up the episode. So, we have completed the Silver Hand quest. So it seemed like well, it started off with me becoming a werewolf. Kind of brushed over that part. We could have maybe we were supposed to transform into a werewolf in that final room. That's sort of what I'm thinking we were supposed to do. Now that I think about it, because that was a tough enemy. But yeah, we now have the ability to turn into a werewolf, which is interesting. And it looks like that was done behind Codlac Whitemane's back, even though he's not technically the leader. But he probably wouldn't have approved of me being transformed into a werewolf. So Ayla, the Huntress, and Skjor were very much in charge of that. And when I recovered from being a werewolf, and Ayla was there with me, turns out we were ready to raid a Silverhand camp in a place... what was it called? Gallows Rock? Doesn't say it here anymore. I think it was Gallows Rock. Anyway, so we were tasked with clearing out a Silverhand camp. We had Ayla to help us. Skjor had gone ahead to scout, but somehow he ended up at the very end of the fort without having killed a single member of the Silverhand. And sure enough, we found him dead in the final room. He had been killed by probably their leader, who was called Krev the Skinner. So yeah, I'm just imagining Principal Skinner from The Simpsons right now, just being a Silverhand member, killing werewolves in like a Halloween special episode. But yeah, we've lost a member of our team. Skjor is dead. Skjor is dead. We're a werewolf, and Silverhand is proving themselves to be a real problem. We got a new quest from Ayla while we were there. Called Stealing Plans. So we need to steal plans from a Silverhand lieutenant. So I need to go and track them down and do that. Yeah, I ascended to the circle which leads the companions and now share their blood as a werewolf. Ayla led me to a Silverhand stronghold where Skjor fell in battle. She has enlisted me on her quest for revenge. So yeah, we're doing work for Ayla now. We're stealing some plans from the Silverhand lieutenant at a place called Orifine. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be it from me. Hope you enjoyed. Okay, no, we'll see. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.